All right, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of SideQuest Podcast. Listen in and level up. I have a great episode for you today, but first, as always, let's get through the show notes. If you're not following the Facebook page, head over to Facebook, type SideQuest Fitness into the search bar, and like the page. There, you're going to get updates on podcast episodes, articles when they get posted, and you're going to get a brand new taco recipe every Tuesday for taco camp. Plus lots of other shenanigans and nerd talk throughout the week, so make sure you head over to Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. My handle is SideQuestFM. If you want to see some cool videos and random stuff on Instagram as well, you can follow me on Instagram, same handle, SideQuestFM, or follow me on Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. Send me your questions. I want to get all the questions from you, help you as much as I can on your fitness journey or your journey in life, whatever it may be. But head over to Snapchat, SideQuestFit. Follow me there. You get a little more personal, in-depth look at the shenanigans I get into throughout every day. But I do love getting questions from the community, so please send them out to me. If you have not left a review for the podcast, please head over to iTunes. If you're not listening on iTunes and you listen on SoundCloud or Stitcher, leave a review there as well. When you leave reviews, it helps me move up the charts on the iTunes store so that more people can see and hear the amazing guests that I've had on and have on each and every single week. So make sure you head over there. And don't forget, if you haven't picked up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss, head over to sidequestfitness.com/7 principles, and you can pick up your copy of the 7 Principles of Fat Loss. These are the same 7 principles I follow each and every day and teach my clients to help them shred away more body fat, unlock heroic strength, and just look better naked. So if you want to unlock strength or just look better naked in the mirror, head over again, grab those 7 principles of fat loss, and start following those today. Welcome to the show, guys. I have a great episode for you today. One of the biggest questions I get is on supplements and what you should take, when you should take them, and if you should take them. So before we get into the episode, first and foremost, before you ever take a supplement, always consult your doctor. I am not a doctor. I do not play one on the internet, as Tim Ferriss says, and I've never played one on stage, and that's not what I went to school for. I went to school for theater, then I became a fitness guy, and that's who I am. I am not a doctor, so please, whatever you do, anytime you start to think to yourself, oh, I want to try this supplement that my friend's been telling me about or I've seen advertised, always consult your physician first before you ever look into taking any type of supplement. There are, however, a couple of things I can answer that I get asked all the time. We're going to cover a few of the basics, ones that I take, the ones I get asked about the most, and then dive into a bit more about what supplements are and whether you need them or you don't. All right, let's get into the show.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records and with the help of the guests you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 fierce. Got a low-key bamf right here. You wanna meet them, there's no better way to greet them than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.
When you start your quest for better health and fitness, what's the first thing that a majority of people do? It's not start tracking their calories. It's not recording workouts. It's not getting a friend to keep them accountable. No. One of the first things that most people do is they head right to GNC or onto bodybuilding.com or wherever to buy supplements. Mostly because the industry, the supplement industry, has told us that this fat burner will get us ripped. Now, they don't use it in words, but they use the power of images to show you that and sell you protein, pre-workout, creatine, glutamine, all of these supplements to get you to buy those things, thinking that you're going to get ripped and lean and look like the guy in the photo. Now, I get asked all the time about supplements. Yes, I have supplements that I share with my clients that I take because they're going to ask me, hey, should I take this? Here's what I take and what we'll share with you. That's what this episode is about. We're going to dive in to whether you need them, what I take, and what of these supplements are kind of bullshit, and that really you can just save some money in the long term by not buying them. Let's start out with number 1. I am not a doctor, and I do not ever play one on stage or on the internet, as Tim Ferriss says. Anytime you are looking to take a supplement, always first ask your doctor if it is something you should start taking. Consult with your medical professional before you take any sort of supplement at all, because you may not know. Maybe you have something that could cause some issues. So go talk to your doctor before you take any sort of supplement at all. But there are a couple questions I can answer, just basic things. Most of my knowledge that I have on supplements when anyone asks comes from the amazing resource at examine.com. If you don't know examine.com, right now, if you're listening on your phone, if you're listening at your computer at work, go to examine, examine.com. They have the best resources for every supplement you can think of. They dive into research. They have gone through all the research to give you the knowledge that you need to know if you have questions. If you're confused about supplements, they will give you that knowledge. They also have a great supplement course and some ebooks you can download as well if you have questions. By far, the biggest supplement I get asked about is creatine. Robbie, should I take creatine? Is it worth it? Is it useful? Is it a steroid? I want to answer a couple of those things. First and foremost, what the hell is creatine? Look, creatine is a naturally occurring molecule in your body. It's an energy system, okay? Mostly known as creatine phosphate, that your body can rapidly produce to create ATP for cellular function. So when you're in the middle of a workout and you're feeling it, your body is converting creatine phosphate into ATP to support your body's cells. So here's what a few of the researchers, a little bit of the research into creatine. Let me go into it real quick. So as I mentioned, when you're in stress and working out, so workouts are a stressful part, are stress for your body. So your body releases phosphocreatine. Scientific words. Phosphocreatine is released as energy to aid cellular function. Now, this is why many people will see strength increases after supplementing with creatine. But there are other things that creatine does. It aids in helping the brain, bones, muscles, and liver throughout these mechanisms. Now, you'll find creatine. Here's where you find creatine. It's natural. Where are you going to find it? You're going to find it in meat, eggs, and fish. That's right. If it's got protein, it's got creatine. Why? Because creatine's stored in the muscles, converted to energy so your muscles can use it. So a chicken's got it in the muscles. Eggs have it, even though they're not. It's got protein. Doesn't matter. Meat, fish, chicken, eggs, all of it. You're getting creatine every time you eat salmon, every time you eat a beautiful, beautiful grilled steak. So you're getting creatine even without supplementing it. Now, you do often hear that, athletes or powerlifters or just regular gym rats use it to increase both power and lean mass. Now, here's the thing. Some people will say it will give you a bellyache. Yeah, if you don't drink enough water. And I will admit, I did it in college. When I was in college, I was like, I'm going to get ripped in the summer. So I bought creatine. And you know what I did? I drank too much beer. I didn't drink enough water. So yeah, it hurt my stomach because I was an idiot. So don't be an idiot. Drink water. But creatine is actually very, very good for you. Now, if you are a vegetarian, there have been some studies that have shown that it can increase cognitive function for vegetarians. So if you don't eat a lot of meat, it might be a good thing to look at. Again, talk to your doctor before you do anything. It might be something that that you want to examine and take a look at. Some people ask, is it bad for your kidneys? According to examine.com, no. They've done all the research, looked into every single study, and it's not bad for your kidneys if your kidneys are healthy. Again, something to discuss with your doctor anytime you decide to start taking any sort of thing. A couple other questions that I get on it that I've gotten from clients themselves. What is the best creatine? There's a few out on the market. Creatine monohydrate is the one to go with. It is the cheapest. You can get like a bottle of it for like maybe $20, and you're getting probably 70 servings out of that. And all you need is a heaping teaspoon, 5 grams a day. If you happen to have a pre-workout, because you get pre-workout, we'll go over that later, that sometimes has creatine in it as well, so you're getting a bit more, plus the meat that you eat. To Take it before or after, doesn't matter. Before you work out, after you work out, doesn't matter. There's no magic to it. Your body's going to use it for energy when it has it. Now, there may be some benefits to taking it before, because it might put some creatine in your body that your body's going to use to break down into energy a little quicker. Maybe there's that. But before or after, most studies have shown that it's not that big of a deal. Do you need to load it? Back in the day, if you looked at the side of the bottle, some of them still say it, take like 20 grams for the first week. You don't need to do it. Just 1 scoop a day in your protein shake. There are some studies that show that it actually has some benefits when taken with caffeine. So some people will actually mix it with their coffee. So you can put that in there. Do you need to cycle on and off? According to studies in examine.com, no, you don't need to cycle on and off at all. Just 5 grams a day, every day. And if you miss a day, doesn't matter. Studies have actually shown that you do not lose strength even if you come off creatine and don't take it. Now, here's the number one thing, and I used to think this, and a lot of people think it. Is it a steroid? No. When you tell people you take creatine, you ever notice that look they give you of like, dude, you're taking a steroid? No, because steroids are illegal. And molecularly, and it's not a steroid. Like if you break it down and look at the way it's made as a molecule, it does not even resemble a steroid whatsoever. It doesn't do any of the things that steroids would do. So no, it is not a steroid because you can buy it at Walmart. The end. That debate is done. So again, those are really the best things. Creatine monohydrate. No, you don't need to cycle. No, you don't need to load it. You may notice a little water weight if you do load it. Water retention is usually seen when you have higher doses. But honestly, you're not going to see much with just a regular 5 grams. And studies have shown that prolonged supplementation actually does, help increase the rate of muscle growth. So you're going to get a little more muscle, a little more water. That's what you want. You're good to go. Again, just make sure you drink plenty of water. Water is key when you're trying to lose weight. Water is key in keeping your fat burning at the right levels for your liver, keeping your liver optimized, but it's also good in preventing stomach aches with creatine as well. All right, so let's move on to the next one that actually has been getting a lot of eyes in the last couple of years, and it is something that I take. Now, why do I take it? Well, one, guys, you've been listening to me long enough, and if you're new to listening, thank you for checking out the show, and if you don't know it, I'm a ginger, and we fair-skinned people don't go out in the sun very much, because in the summer, even with like 45,000 SPF, okay, like I get sunburned within 30 minutes. Like my skin doesn't like the sun, but there's something that happens when you're out in the sun for longer than, say, 30 minutes. And in the summer, you see it a lot because we're outside more often. But your body actually creates vitamin D from sunlight. What? Wait, I thought the plants did that with photosynthesis. No, actually, our bodies do it as well through the skin. The body produces vitamin D from cholesterol, provided that you have adequate amounts of UV light from sun exposure. Now, here's the thing. That means that, UV light coming from the sun has to be at an index of 3 or higher. Usually that occurs year-round near the equator. So the further north you are, especially if you're somewhere like Britain or Scotland or Iceland or parts of Alaska that only see the sun for like 6 months out of the year, you're going to get very, 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 very little vitamin D because you're not getting that exposure to the sun. But it's a crucial, crucial, crucial vitamin that you need in everything, in like bodily functions, in creating cognitive function, immune health, bone health, just general well-being. That they've shown that it can help reduce the risk of cancers, heart disease, diabetes, and so much more as well. Now, naturally, you'll find it in fish and eggs, and you'll find it in some other veggies as well. And it's been added to dairy products. However, the dairy products only have about 100 IUs a day, per like 8 ounces. Now, here's the do's and don'ts of vitamin D. And if you guys read and research online, you're going to see a lot more stuff coming out about vitamin D in the next couple of years. There's a lot of research going into this vitamin. Some people call it maybe a hormone because your body can produce it. But there's a lot of really cool stuff coming out about vitamin D. First and foremost, it is a fat-soluble vitamin. What that means is that for you to survive, it's going to break down in fats. So the more fat that when you take it with like a high-fat meal, that vitamin D is going to break down and it's going to go out into your body. So again, the best thing to do when you're taking vitamin D, if you decide to take it with something like a fish oil, or take it at a meal where you have a lot of fat. Maybe you take your fat in the morning or in the evening, as I do. Make sure that it's a high-fat meal when you take your vitamin D. Now, according to examine.com, the recommended daily allowance is currently set at like 400 to 800 IUs a day. However, that may be low for some adults, especially if you live in more northern climates like the US, Canada, Britain. You may need about 4,000 IUs a day. I take 5,000 in a vitamin D supplement that I get. But again, research has suggested that a true safer upper limit is 10,000 IUs. However, again, they do caution on Examine that, do not go over 10,000 unless you are being watched by a doctor. Again, before you decide to start taking vitamin D, talk to your doctor. Talk to your doc. Always. The end. No matter what, before you take any sort of supplement, no matter how many articles you read, call your doc and be like, yo, doc, should I do this? And see what they say. So they do suggest taking it daily with meals, a fatty meal source or fish oil. Unfortunately, one of the questions that you will get sometimes is, I can just drink milk. Like I said, milk only has about 100 IUs, so you'd have to drink a lot of milk, which is going to upset your stomach anyways. So again, just check it with your doc before you take that. Vitamin D is something that you should think about and talk to your doctor about. It is something that I take. Definitely helps so much since I don't get outside a lot because, I'm a day walker. All right, let's get into the third supplement that most people have heard about for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. And you may be taking it right now. Fish oil. Fish oil is something that you've heard and read about for probably a decade and the health benefits to taking it. Most of us don't eat a lot of fish. I try to eat some. My wife hates it, so I don't normally eat very much fish. But you take me to a sushi place, done. Like I'm clearing out like $50-$60 worth of sushi. I love fish. But we take fish oil. I take fish oil. So the reason fish oil is important is it's high in omega-3 fatty acids. Now, I'm not reading the scientific names because I'll screw them up, but you'll see these as EPA and DHA. You'll find these in fish, some animal products, and phytoplankton. But mostly you're going to get this from fish because it is where it happens the most. It's also the cheapest and most common source. So most Western diets are really high in omega-6 fatty acids, but you want to even out your omega-3s and omega-6s for optimizing your body, making sure that it's running and grooving the right way. So, red meat, eggs, and so forth are really high in omega-6, but this is why they also recommend fish oil to balance that ratio out. So a 1-to-1 ratio is what you're looking for, and that's associated with healthier blood vessels, lower lipid counts, and reduced, buildup in your vessels from plaque. But it's also been shown that fish oil can help decrease the risk, not help decrease the risk of diabetes and some forms of cancer as well. So there's a lot of studies on the importance of fish oil and what it can do to help you as well in aiding off long-term diseases. Again, you do want one thing that Examine mentions, and I really listen to this before you take it. Again, talk to your doctor before you take any supplement. Talk to your doctor. It can help reduce triglycerides in some people who have high triglyceride levels, but it can also increase cholesterol. So again, when you supplement with it, you want to make sure you're talking to your doctor before you do anything. Make sure to not confuse, and this is something Examine really harps on in their list, and it's true. It is not the plant-based omega-3. That is the alpha linolenic acid, or ALA. You want to make sure that you're getting the EPA and DHA from fish. Now, fish oil has been shown to help with joint health, help make the joints a little greasier as you get older, and helping those move better. It's also been shown to help with brain function and help improve cognitive function as well. So some people may notice a little more stimulation after they supplement. It doesn't happen immediately. It takes days, maybe even weeks. Two things on fish oil. So sometimes people will take it and they get kind of a fishy burp. Always take it with food or freeze them. So if you take it with food or freeze it, you'll prevent that from happening. But make sure you're refrigerating your fish oil. When it's exposed to heat for too long, it can oxidize if left in the sun or the heat. Now, that's not necessarily harmful, but just put it in your fridge. Put it in your fridge because it's there when you go grab your water at night or whatever. You're going to be like, oh, take my fish oil with my meal. Now, for general health, they do suggest, combining EPA and DHA, the minimum dosage. The American Heart Association actually recommends 1 gram daily. So if you're looking to get into that, that's what the American Heart Association recommends. But again, make sure you check with your doctor. Ladies, if you're listening to this and you become pregnant, you definitely need to make sure you're talking to your doctor before you continue taking fish oil or even start taking it. Just want to make sure you don't have any increased mercury levels when you go in to that. There are a few people who do say that fish oil can help combat DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. There are a few things out there about that. But when it comes around to it, it really is a very helpful thing as you age, as you progress on, and especially if you don't eat a lot of fish, as my wife and I do not right now, unless I go to a sushi place. It is good to get those omega-3 fatty acids in. So again, check out everything on examine.com for that. Make sure you talk with your doctor before you decide to jump in to getting fish oil. All right, let's go into a couple other quick things on supplements that either I use or I get asked about all the time. Hands down, number one, the first one is always pre-workouts. Hey man, should I take a pre-workout? Should I use it? Here's the thing on pre-workouts. This is what I suggest. Do I use them? Yes, occasionally. I will go into why I've had to back off in a couple seconds. But most pre-workouts are dosing you with at least 200 to maybe, depending on the brand, 300 milligrams of caffeine. So you're getting that workout is just that boost from caffeine. Now, caffeine is one of the most studied supplements or stimulants in the world of supplementation. It is one of the only stimulants that a college athlete can take, according to the NCAA, without getting tripped up for a drug test and then being suspended or not able to play again. Many of us drink coffee in the morning. I drink coffee. I've had to back off. Again, I'll go to that in a second. But you see this in coffee, energy drinks, tea. Fat burners are basically just caffeine pills. But it is a powerful stimulant. It has been shown that it can increase strength and endurance in athletes. And it does, help mentally stimulate you, get you awake, get you going. And has also been shown to, reduce the risk of Alzheimer's and, even some other diseases as well. The thing about caffeine is that it acts on your brain. I mean, obviously it's a stimulant, but it acts on receptors in your brain. So once you get used to it, your body develops a tolerance. You take more caffeine, you'll get more of that stimulation. You take less of it, you're going to suffer some withdrawals because your body's not used to, it's used to more and you're not giving it. So kind of like little bit of a drug. It is a drug in a lot of ways, in the way that it acts on the brain. So if you have trouble sleeping, look at your caffeine intake. You may be intaking too much caffeine throughout the day. And when I say sleeping, I mean good quality sleep. If you sleep 8 hours with an asterisk and you wake up 2 or 3 times in the night, you're not getting good quality sleep. So you might want to examine how much caffeine you're taking in. Now, I noticed some things with my caffeine intake. I was getting a little bit of the jitters, some headaches and things. And some of it was I was drinking a whole pot. I like to say a cup. I know there's many of you listening going, oh, I drink a cup a day. And by a cup, I mean it's one whole pot. That's 1 cup, right? I was drinking, if you filled it up to the little 12, about that, maybe twice a day, depending on the mood. I love the taste of the coffee. I really do. A good espresso at a great coffee shop, a really good coffee that is made in Peru, grown in Ethiopia, grown in Papua New Guinea. I mean, in those climates, they're delicious. And there's really great coffee coming in. It's been a very big thing for the last almost 20 years in the U.S. It's why Starbucks got so big. But many of us drink far too much. So it can cause some things, later on if you sort of go too much. So I noticed a few things, so I've cut back to 1 cup. That's it, 1 cup. The first week was a little rough, but here's the great thing is when you cycle off of it and then you start drinking it again, you're going to get that extra boost. You're going to feel those benefits again. But I did. I wanted to cycle off and see. But it is one of the most studied things out there. Caffeine. Again, it does have some metabolic effects. It blunts hunger. So if you fast in the mornings like I used to do, it's why people who do intermittent fasting love having coffee. It blunts that hunger sensation. Plus, again, it does sort of boost your metabolic levels just a little bit. So you burn a little extra calories when consuming it. But that is the majority of what is in your pre-workout. Now, there are other things in your pre-workout. If you look over at the side, I enjoy Citadel Nutrition. When it comes to pre-workouts, there's a lot of junk and a lot of bullshit in them. Anytime you see something that says like a blend, why am I forgetting how it's proprietary blend? Basically what that means is, hey, you just paid like $35 for this, but we totally just sold you this bullshit because we skimped on like the real like high quality stuff. So some of the ingredients they give you, they only give you a few milligrams. They don't give you the milligram dosage that actually hits you in the way that you want. You're going to fill it through a couple of things like extra caffeine or extra beta-alanine, which again is something that Examine.com has covered. So head over to Examine and you can check that out. But most pre-workouts are going to have caffeine. They may have creatine. They may have beta-alanine. They may even have BCAAs or branched chain amino acids. I'll cover that one in a minute. And they may have some other things. Beta-alanine, if it has beta-alanine and you feel a little tingle in your muscles, you're getting that from the beta-alanine. It is put in there as a way to blunt muscle fatigue. So there's tiny little things they'll do to give you that little tingle in your mouth, like Listerine. Give you that little tingle in your muscles, like it's working. But a lot of that energy you're getting comes from the extra caffeine. So you could just have a cup of coffee. But if you're having 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day and a pre-workout, take a serious look at what you're doing. And just think about it. See if you're getting jitters throughout the day. If your stress levels are very high, you don't want to overshoot, cause your adrenal glands to overload. If you're not sleeping very well, getting good sleep, good hard sleep, then definitely either take the pre-workout out or cycle back a little bit on the caffeine usage. I like pre-workouts when I need them. I tend to work out in the morning, so I get a little coffee. I have my cup of coffee, wake up when I read, still in my system when I go to the gym. If I'm working out later in the day, I'll have a pre-workout just to get me through it. But one of my 9 rules that I live by is I don't drink caffeine after 3 p.m. because I love sleep. I want to sleep well, so I don't want that to mess with my sleep. It's not necessary. Really isn't. You can save yourself a ton of money and just have a cup of coffee before you go to the gym. If you're going at like 5 or 6, I suggest not having a pre-workout just because the half-life of caffeine is about 6 hours. So it might keep you up a little later. Workout's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. But, it is something you can use sparingly when you're maybe feeling a little tired, but you want a little boost. You want to have that good workout, then use it. But just keep an eye on things, especially if your caffeine intake is a little too high. The other thing I get asked about all the time is, of course, whey protein. Should you take it? Should you use it? Again, I will reiterate on all of this. Talk to your doctor before you do anything. I am not a doctor at all. I don't play one on the internet. I don't play one on stage. So make sure you talk to your doctor before you do this. Protein, you see it everywhere now. If you're in Britain, lucky, you guys have protein Snickers. Protein Snickers. It's like 17, 18 grams of protein. Totally jealous of that. Love Snickers. So you guys have that over there. We have Quest bars here. You have Quest chips now. You have all these protein things coming up. And of course, whey protein is one thing that a lot of people add into smoothies. I use it just because it is a cheap source of protein for me. Mostly because I love chicken, but I don't want to eat another 8 ounces of chicken when I could put 2 scoops in a shake. That's just me. So if it is something you can handle, check it out. There's also egg white protein. There's also pea protein. There's all that other stuff when it comes to that as a supplement. There's a ton of supplements out there that you can take. Again, really all I take is fish oil, vitamin D, and my protein supplement. There are things like, I do take magnesium at night. You can supplement with magnesium. You can supplement with zinc, vitamin K, vitamin E, all the vitamin Bs. You see those. Like if you drink a Monster, you got a ton of those. CoQ10. There's a ton of stuff out there. So the big thing I'm going to tell you right now, if you have questions, head to examine.com and check out their resources. Read about the stuff. Talk to your doctor before you do anything. And then if you decide and your doctor says, yep, you can supplement, you're healthy enough, do this, you can head to labdoor.com. Labdoor.com is the best place when you are looking to find supplements that are affordable but high quality. So Examine gives you all the research. They give you the knowledge. Now, what Labdoor does is they have protein, probiotics, multivitamins, fish oil, pre-workouts, BCAAs. I'll go to BCAAs real quick. Branched chain amino acids are an easy way to get amino acids into your system without your body having to break down the protein from chicken into branched chain amino acids. If you're eating enough protein in your diet, not necessary. If you're training fasted, I highly suggest having them because it'll start protein synthesis and keep your body from breaking muscle down. So you want to make sure you keep that muscle when you're dieting. So yes, that is good. Should you have BCAAs post-workout? No, because you're going to get into your protein. You're fine. Eat some meat, have a shake, you're good to go. Don't buy a bunch of BCAAs and take pre and post and during. You're wasting money that you don't need to waste. But if you train fasted, it is something that I highly suggest. However, going back to Labdoor, I'm going to click pre-workout now on their website. What they do is they rate versus quality and they rate versus value. So you can go to GNC and you'll see a ton of pre-workouts on the shelf. Go to Walmart and you'll see some lower value things as well on the shelf. But, you might get something like my Citadel Nutrition Tier 1 costs about $30. Okay, it's number 5 in the value ranking for Labdoor. Now I go to quality and I look at their website, is number 5. To come in at that same number, boom, that's good shit. I'm going to get it. Now, if you look at something like, let's say one that many people probably use, let's say Optimum Nutrition Platinum Pre-Workout. So Optimum Nutrition, Good company. All right, so quality-wise, number 3. Value-wise, 13. So you're going to spend a little bit more. So it's a great resource for you to find high quality, high value. So find one that is high quality, but isn't going to break your bank, that you enjoy and you can go with if you want to do that. Again, you can do that with pre-workouts. You can do it with multivitamins, protein, fish oil. Since I mentioned multivitamins, I will go on that. A lot of people ask. Again, talk to your doctor and all of that jazz. But here's what I do. I don't take them because I don't need them, because I eat enough vegetables. As long as you are tasting the rainbow, eating a colorful array of vegetables, you will not need to go out and buy a multivitamin unless your doctor has suggested that you do that, because due to not doing it, you're not getting what you need. So make sure you are checking with your doc for all of that. But again, if you're looking for quality and value rankings, go to labdoor.com. You can find some great resources there and finding the best quality fish oil along with the best value for you depending on your income and what you make. So guys, I've enjoyed talking to you about supplements. If you have any questions, email me, sidequestfitness@gmail.com. And before I go, 2 real quick things. Remember, before you do anything that involves a supplement, check with your doctor. Always talk to your doc first. Check with them to make sure that you're healthy enough and that it's something you need. And when I say it's something you need, here's number 2. The word supplement is defined as in addition to. In addition to. As long as you are eating plenty of fruits and vegetables and a colorful array of them, and you're eating plenty of meat, you're hitting your protein numbers, you're getting veggies, you're eating, whole sourced grains like oats and wild rice or white rice or brown rice. I'm not going to get in on that debate. Doesn't matter. Just whatever. As long as you're eating like those sources and you're eating good whole foods and you're exercising, drinking plenty of water, getting plenty of sunlight if you can, you're probably going to be fine on most of the vitamins that you need and most of the protein that you need and most of the caffeine that you need, because I know for a fact you're drinking coffee when you wake up in the mornings or you're going to Starbucks. So you probably don't need that pre-workout. Supplement in addition to. It's not called a necessary. It's called a supplement. So anytime someone tries to tell you you need this, you don't. Yes, when my clients hire me to coach them, I give them a page and say, this is what I take. Because if they're going to ask, I want them to already know what I use and what I trust and what I believe is a good quality product. And if you want to ask me about something, I don't mind answering and letting you know. So hit me up, sidequestfitness@gmail.com. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, if you have questions, hit me up, sidequestfitness@gmail.com, or you can tweet SideQuestFM or find me on Facebook, SideQuest Fitness, and send me your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. Guys, I'll see you next week. Have fun, get out there, and kick ass at life.
Step up and you gotta get it fitness. Host Rob at the moment and the quest is you gotta check it and wreck it. You're breaking personal records, and with the help of the guest you won't be guessing on the lessons. That's a +5 fierce. Got a low-key band right here. You wanna meet him, there's no better way to greet him than to strike a boss pose. Take a look into the mirror.